Hey everyone, Blugoblin here for my second comic book review special concerning books that I got from my student, TheMtVernonKid from Midtown Comics. This is the second one where I'm gonna look at the 3 issues of The Spider that he sent me. Go back and check for the first one where I reviewed the first 3, which was He-Man and Masters of the Universe #1 and the first 2 parts of the Mega Man Sonic the Hedgehog crossover Worlds Collide. Also, I'll also be putting in both videos. I'll be putting a link to my comic book review that I recently did on my second channel, Blugoblin X, just in case not everybody has seen it yet. But in this review special, I'm going to be talking about issues 8, 9, and 10 of The Spider. All right, we're going to start with issue 8. A Dynamite Entertainment classic. David Liss is still doing the writing. I forgot who did the artwork for the first few issues, but Ivan Rodriguez is doing the artwork for these 3, I believe. Yes, he's doing the artwork for these 3 issues, and I already see a difference. Ivan Rodriguez's artwork is good. Do not get me wrong. It is really good. It does fit with the storytelling I'm seeing in here, but I preferred the first artist. I really did, because the original artist did a much better job with the style of storytelling we were getting here. But the issue 8 is the first part of a 2-part story in which Wentworth Industries, that's run by Richard the Spider, finds out that there's some internal espionage, weapons trading, all kinds of terrorist acts going around, and he's trying to find out who's behind it. And he does. And, he's got to keep that, kind of Bruce Wayne-ish style of mannerisms to, keep people from knowing he's the Spider. We don't see much of the Spider in here until the very end of the book. But the dialogue in here was very nice. The drama was good. And we're introduced to the villain known as the Hater. And he's a really interesting villain, even though his attitude is a bit of a stock cliche style of attitude. Kind of like a Snively Whiplash kind of, attitude. He's wicked. He knows it. He's extremely arrogant. His arrogance comes off to the point, I don't know if he says it in issue 8 or issue 9, but he talks about the police commissioner, who happens to be the husband of the woman Richard loves, and he's like, that policeman he dared arrest me. How dare he arrest me? I'm like, good Lord, what criminal talks like that? I mean, yeah, this is definitely a pulp storytelling here, but wow, I mean, you talk about arrogance, and Spider finds out what's going on, and when he gets down to it, he finds out about some bombs, and he goes to the basement and he finds bombs, but he finds out the hard way that there's something wrong, that the Hater has gotten to him inadvertently, because earlier in this issue, the woman he loves, Nita, is going is trying to find out who's helping people commit suicides and everything. She figures there's something fishy about it, and the hater finds her. The hater finds her, and he hypnotizes her and says, "Now go kill the man you love." I noticed he didn't say go kill your husband. He said go kill the man you love. And at the end of the issue, the big cliffhanger is she goes and finds the spider and is going to kill him. Da, da, da. The man she loves is not her husband. It's Richard. Wow. Like, we didn't see that coming, but it was still a good dramatic point to put on as the cliffhanger. Very impressive. I did love the storytelling. Love the character of the spider. He's a pulp hero. He's a hero who's not afraid to cross the line. He's crossed it several times. He's not afraid to kill. He's not afraid to use lethal force, deadly force, or whatever you want to call it. It's great. This is good storytelling. Very, very well done. I give Spider number 8, I give it a 4. Alright, issue 9 is the continuation of what we saw in issue 8. The way the spider gets away from Nita, who's hypnotized into trying to kill the man she loves, and she keeps saying, "I love you, Richard. I want to kill you." So he takes her to a doctor. He says, I don't know if I can snap her out of it, but he said, I don't know how I can reverse the hypnosis, but I think I know a way to wake her up. And it was actually pretty damn clever, and I'm not gonna spoil, even though this issue's kind of old, I'm not going to spoil how they snap her out of it, but it was actually pretty clever, and I thought it was a very genius plan of how they got her out of it. But, yeah, the culmination of this issue involves the hater, and he finds out where Nita is, and the spider realizes it, and he goes to save her. And the hater tries to hypnotize the spider, but he doesn't have his little glowing orb out long enough for the spider to get hypnotized. So he gets a hold of him, and he says, "All right, it's like, because he made Nita confess that she does love Richard. He says, you're going to hypnotize the commissioner to forget everything that she just said." He's like, "Okay, it shouldn't take but..." He's like, okay. He said, "It shouldn't take but 2 minutes. What are you going to do?" He said, "Find out in 2 minutes." And what he does, I'm not going to ruin it. But the end of the book, the very end of the issue shows that Detective Hilt, I believe Hilt's his name, the crooked detective who's got a big grudge against the spider, has got a hold of something that he could possibly use against him. And I'm like, damn it. This was a solid read. I thought it was even a little bit better than issue 8 was. Very nice stuff. I really enjoyed this. It did have some flaws, but I really enjoyed it. I give this, even though it was a little bit better, I still give it a solid 4. Now, we're ending this review with issue number 10 of The Spider. David Liss, you're still doing a great job with the writing. I did like this cover, even though it wasn't completely accurate, because the person that the spider confronts in this issue, he doesn't look like that. I don't know how well you can see it, but it's a guy dressed in black with a knife. I mean, that's not what he looks like. Ivan Rodriguez, like I said, I prefer the original artist of this series, but your art was good for what it was. But this is the beginning of a new story involving a new villain. And what better villain befitting a man called the Spider than the Fly? And when I saw the Fly make his big first appearance in here, it was nothing like I was expecting it. I'll go ahead and ruin this. The Fly just looks like a stereotypical average Joe with a pair of glasses on. He just looks like a regular guy. I'm like, really? It's like he's a regular guy in a yellow plaid shirt with khakis that just happens to know how to fight. And man, this guy, this guy, dare I say, was even more arrogant than the Hater is. Wow. Now this dude is arrogant, and he's a hell of a good, strategist. I mean, the way he's one-upping the Spider in this book, he's really, really clever. I mean, he tricks the Spider into a death trap that he gets out of. But another thing is, the Fly could be a very, very formidable opponent for the Spider, especially what he does in here. Now, I'm not going to say what he does, but, Spider puts up a good fight, but the Fly gets one up on him, and he's like, and the Spider's like, okay, I guess you're going to kill me. He says, no, I've done something better than that. I beat you, and I humiliated you. And he just walks away, and I'm like, wow, that was awesome. Awesome character development for a good villain here. This right here shows that just because you're an evildoer, you don't need to kill the hero to establish that you're a threat or establish that you're a good villain. To me, he even looked more believable by simply humiliating the Spider. I mean, Richard was embarrassed of how he was easily taken down by the Fly. And at the end of the book, I'll go ahead and spoil this. At the end of the book, he's like, he humiliated me. And when I find him, I'm going to kill him. And then I'm going to kill him again. I'm like, wow. The Fly has really pushed the Spider's buttons. He has done a great job as a villain. So for his first book, The Fly did a magnificent job establishing himself as a good villain. Even though he has an average Joe style look, he could really go places, and I'm really excited to see where they're going with this. The Spider, number 10, best out of the 3 I read. I give this a 4.5 out of 5. It did have some flaws, and there was one funny moment in here where we saw the Fly's first act of villainy. He's broadcasting a hostage situation on the news, and he supposedly kills a woman live on the news, and the newsman says, "Ladies and gentlemen, we apologize for all the disturbing images, and we'll show them to you again right after the commercial break." Only in a comic book can you have a newscaster say something that profoundly stupid. It's hilarious. But this was very nice. Loved it, and I'll be ready for more. Alright, I want to thank y'all for watching these 2 special edition reviews. I hope to do more of them like this. And once again, a big props, bro hug to my student, Chris, the Mount Vernon Kid. Dude, I want to thank you for sending me these books. Check out the link in the description for my main review for books that came out on the 17th of April. Please check that out. Follow me on Twitter or on Tumblr. You won't regret it, I promise you, as Chris himself has said before. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and until next time, I'll see y'all later.